With raised paddles, they greet her in the Maori royal salute. Our sentinel warns of her coming, and in Arawa Park, we watch as she reaches the marae, our appointed meeting ground. She cannot cross it until first a ceremonial challenge has been made. This is our custom. The dart must be picked up as a sign of friendship. Now the Queen is our guest. Queen Victoria gave us the flags. Now they fly for her great-great-granddaughter. Our bishop, the Bishop of Aotearoa, clothed the Queen in a feather cloak called a korowai. Now she is indeed our chief. She belongs to her Maori people. Guide Rangi tells Her Majesty of the legends behind the carvings on the whare, our meeting house at Whakarewarewa. It's not an old whare, but is in the true Maori tradition. It's part of a model pa, or fortified village, which shows how our people used to live. I think Rangi has also told of the legends about the waters which boil in the earth nearby.
Heartwarming demonstrations of loyalty from farmer and townsfolk alike transform the tour into a triumphal progress, a portent of much more to come as the train moves through the rich sheep-raising area of Hawke's Bay. The royal train enters the Manawatu Gorge, while a canoe proceeds with more enthusiasm than caution in the swift waters. The 4-mile gorge is a natural gateway between the mountains. Out across the Manawatu Plain and into the square Palmerston North. Where do they come from, all these people, with only 2 million in the whole country? Yet this scene is typical of the Queen's reception in more than 50 towns. Mount Egmont, rising 8,000 feet, but not high enough to overawe the children of Stratford. 10,000 have gathered in this dairy farming township. And here the Queen finds herself truly among her people. For Stratford is one of the few places in the royal tour where Her Majesty proceeds on foot. And the Duke, too. At Bellblock, New Plymouth, the Queen gets an interesting insight into the cooperative dairy industry. No less than £250,000 worth of butter and cheese comes out of this factory each year. It is the royal couple's last pause before Wellington. Wellington, a great moment for the 133-year-old capital city. As never before, it celebrates. and the greatest, most tumultuous welcome of all is from its children. The organizers have arranged that every child shall have a good view as the Queen and the Duke drive past. But the children find a way to ensure at least two good views. 15,000 individual wills, they build but a single pattern. These are the future men and women of one far corner of a commonwealth of many governments, but of one allegiance. And now, a tribute to the past. The royal couple honor the memory of the dead of 2 world wars. "135,000 New Zealanders served overseas during World War II. 8 won the Victoria Cross. 1 in every 14 made the supreme sacrifice." It's a gala day for the capital. With all the gay colors of a summer throng to greet her, the Queen arrives to open Parliament. She is wearing her fabulous coronation gown. At Westminster, it is traditional that the sovereign has no right of direct entry into the lower house. In New Zealand, where there is now only a single chamber, the same custom applies. It is to the chamber of the former upper house that the Queen will summon members of the House of Representatives to appear before her. Obeying Her Majesty's order, Major Brian, Black Rod, backs away to call on the Speaker to lead members into the Queen's presence. The Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition take their places to right and left of the throne, Mr. Holland pausing before Her Majesty to present her with the text of the address in Parliament.
Honourable members of the House of Representatives, it is with a feeling of real satisfaction that I speak to you, the elected representatives of the people of New Zealand, as your Queen, and that I exercise my prerogative of opening the 4th session of this 30th Parliament. 100 years ago, when the people of New Zealand gained for themselves the right of responsible self-government, it would have required a prophetic imagination to have foreseen the possibility of the present occasion. But in these 100 years, New Zealand has grown to be a sovereign and mature state, while the ocean surrounding these bountiful islands has become a main highway in a world which has itself been transformed. I wish to express most sincerely my warm appreciation of the arrangements which my ministers have made for me to travel extensively and to meet my subjects in this country. I pray that the blessing of Almighty God will rest upon your counsels.
It's the end of a memorable occasion, particularly memorable since it's the first time the ancient ceremony has been recorded on film. The capital city celebrates in style. At the town hall, the Queen carries out her first investiture in her New Zealand capital. The Chief Justice, the Honourable Harold Barraclough, is knighted for services to law and public bodies. He is one of 130 North Islanders rewarded for duties to the community. The Queen's departure for South Island leaves every city from Auckland to Wellington with a feeling of loss. The Royal Plane heads past Wellington towards Cook Strait, the 20-mile gap between the islands. Marlborough Sounds. Here came Captain Cook 184 years ago to make his first landing in the South Island. Main outlet for the Buller coal fields, Westport gives a real mining community welcome. There they are for everyone to see. Bless 'em. At every wayside station, the children wait in loyalty and excitement. The Queen is journeying from the west coast to Canterbury, right across South Island. A magic carpet for every watching child. Ahead lies the Commonwealth's longest railway tunnel, 5¼ miles through the Southern Alps. Beyond lie precipitous gorges and mountain defiles. The journey through rugged Westland to the rich cultivated plains of Canterbury is 148 miles. Christchurch, capital of Canterbury. The cathedral city welcomes its Queen. "30,000 voices are raised in unison as the mayor calls for cheers. Green trees by a sparkling fountain. Where else could the royal couple feel more at home? The scene is the archery lawn at the Botanic Gardens, and 4,000 guests from all parts of North Canterbury have gathered to meet the Queen. Wearing a full-skirted dress of pale mushroom pink lace, the Queen moves among them. 2,000 of the guests are townsfolk who secured their invitation through a public ballot. A democratic way of life which delights the Queen. The Duke starts a race at Addington Trotting Course, where meetings have been held for 68 years. 150,000 worth of bets are laid on this course each day. It's a sport which attracts New Zealand's greatest crowds. At Long Beach, an estate founded by John Grigg, a Cornish immigrant of 100 years ago, the royal couple arrive on a 2-day visit. Here in the peace of the Canterbury countryside, they will enjoy quiet and seclusion. It's a rest period not begrudged by their most fervent admirers. And now, the South. It's the final lap in the royal journey, and at every vantage point they wait to see her. Even the cot cases are brought from the hospitals. No better medicine. Waitaki Bridge, nearly 3/4 mile long and a good example of sturdy wooden construction. A rare occasion this, the royal couple just sightseeing